Lucius Annaeus Seneca, who lived in the 1st century AD, was a Roman scholar and philosopher. He is famed for his views on Stoicism, and Letters from a Stoic, a series of letters he wrote to his buddy Lucilius, is one of his most recognized writings. Seneca emphasizes throughout his letters the significance of maintaining inner tranquility and peace amid life's trials. He teaches that we can be more moral and control our emotions and desires by practicing mindfulness and striving to master them. Seneca's advice on remaining serene in adversity has resonated with individuals for ages. His observations are as pertinent in today's frenetic world as when he first offered them. Improving our lives and benefiting those closest to us are possible via self-control and the pursuit of inner peace. Here are 6 techniques for maintaining calmness drawn from Seneca's teachings. By living under these ageless truths, you'll be able to face life's trials with more wisdom and stability, and ultimately lead a happier, more moral life. First technique: don't give in to your emotions. Seneca once said, "It is a youthful failing to be unable to control one's impulses." Seneca recognized that controlling our emotions was an essential part of maintaining calmness. However, he argued that we lose our capacity for rational thought and sound decision-making when we give in to our emotions and instincts. Seneca said that the first step in controlling our compulsions is becoming conscious. We must be aware of the thoughts, feelings, and needs that come up in us and watch them without judging or getting attached to them. Doing this allows us to separate ourselves from our compulsions and feel we have a better way of handling issues. We can then pause, evaluate the circumstance, and then respond. We can reflect on whether our outrage is warranted or merely a reflexive response to the event. We can make more deliberate and thoughtful decisions that align with our genuine selves by thinking twice before acting on our instincts. We can react to the circumstance according to our core principles. For instance, rather than responding to a challenging teammate, we may confront them calmly and firmly, constructively communicating our concerns. We keep our inner peace by doing this and fostering an environment that is more constructive and fruitful for everyone around us. Seneca's advice on self-control also applies to many other ways in daily life, such as avoiding the temptation to put off or engage in destructive behaviors, or maintaining patience and compassion in the face of difficulty. As a result, we can live happier lives and positively impact the world by exercising self-control. Second technique: learn to forgive and forget. Who needs forgiveness? Should the same extend with readiness? This quote is one of Seneca's most famous quotes. Seneca meant that whoever needs forgiveness should be willing to grant it to others. According to Seneca, the party that has been mistreated should be the first to extend forgiveness. Forgiveness shouldn't depend on how significant the harm was or how much the offender says they're sorry. Instead, we should forgive without questioning the motives of the one seeking pardon. Seneca thought that harboring resentment and hostility toward others would only lead to one's sorrow and distress. Thus, he advocated forgiving others by admitting that forgiving another person might be challenging, mainly when the offender has caused severe harm or continues to do so. Still, he also recognized that forgiveness is a decision we make for ourselves and not for the offender's benefit. Seneca argued that forgiving others should be a habit rather than a reaction to wrongdoing. He felt that bad feelings toward individuals who have harmed us might be released if we practiced forgiveness and compassion for them, even in the face of adversity or disagreement. Peace and inner freedom are the fruits of a life dedicated to forgiving others. Take the case of a co-worker who constantly belittles your contributions and steals your joy at the workplace. It's simple to let your hatred towards this person cloud your judgment and impair your productivity at work. You may discover that you can let go of the negative feelings and concentrate on finding solutions to work productively with this co-worker if you regularly practice forgiveness towards them. First, let go of your resentment toward your co-worker and forgive yourself. Next, recognize your emotions without judgment and remind yourself that you have every right to feel sad. But harboring resentment will do more harm than good. It can also help to see things from the perspective of your co-worker. Perhaps they lack confidence in their abilities, which drives them to steal the ideas of others. Having more empathy for them could help you release whatever resentment you have. Instead of focusing on a coworker's bad habits, you may highlight their good points. If you change how you look at the situation, you can solve problems and work together more effectively with the other person. However, if your coworker's behavior still interferes with your productivity, it's crucial to establish limits and make your demands known. Do so, however, in a kind and non-confrontational manner to find solutions rather than assign blame. It may take some time and effort to learn to forgive someone completely. However, if you can do this and keep at it, you may find it easier to forgive this coworker and others who have wronged or hurt you. Cultivating compassion and understanding for others and releasing destructive emotions allows us to live a peaceful and virtue-filled life while serving the common good. Third technique: concentrate on your ultimate goals. Another vital quote by Seneca informs us thus: "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. If we used everything wisely, we would have plenty of time and resources to reach our full potential." Seneca claimed that many individuals feel unfulfilled and dissatisfied because they spend their time and energy on things that don't advance their emotional growth or well-being. He cautioned his followers against this by stressing the importance of living in the now. We may improve our self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and time management skills if we take the time to notice our thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness training teaches us to focus on the present moment and release the thoughts and concerns that weigh us down. Focusing on our most significant goals and making deliberate decisions about how we spend our time allows us to experience a more peaceful existence, since we are not squandering our time and resources on meaningless activities. Mindfulness practices, such as deep breathing and introspection, help you avoid becoming overwhelmed and absorbed by anxieties about the future. Taking a few deep breaths and bringing your attention to the present will help you relax and de-stress. Next, consider your goals and objectives, such as producing high-quality work or being a dependable teammate, and choose your approach to the project accordingly. This can help you keep your sights on the prize, so to speak, and direct your efforts where they will do the best for your development and happiness. However, while living in the here and now and concentrating on our highest hopes might help us feel more at peace and fulfilled, we must remember that hardships and setbacks will always be a part of life. External events and situations are not always under our control, and despite our best attempts to maintain a state of mindfulness and keep our attention fixed on our goals, we may occasionally experience feelings of tension or overload. But with mindfulness and intentional living, we may strengthen our resilience and acquire better coping mechanisms to face these obstacles head-on and with more composure. Despite difficulties and unpredictability, we may lead a more satisfying life by cultivating self-awareness and channeling our efforts toward our values and goals. Fourth technique: embrace your destiny. To draw inspiration for this technique, let us look at the quote from Seneca that says, "Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant." The things we can influence the most are our ideas and deeds, and the things we can't are external occurrences and the acts of others. The Stoics advocate concentrating on what we have command over and letting go of the things we don't. Unfortunately, we humans tend to want to be in charge of everything, assuming that doing so will make our lives more stable and predictable. However, this is an illusion, since there will always be factors outside our management. Attempting to regulate every aspect of our lives can lead to frustration and anger if things don't go as planned. Consider the scenario of someone who painstakingly prepares a trip with their pals, including every activity and food, and picture how stressful it would be. They may become agitated and angry if something unexpected occurs, such as a change in the weather, which would make the trip unpleasant for everyone. This person is setting themselves up for unneeded stress and worries and jeopardizing their relationships and experiences, all because they are attempting to control everything. On the other hand, if the person can learn to let go of their expectations and embrace the journey as it is, they may have a better time and make better connections with the people they meet along the way. So while we can't always stop incidents from occurring, we can influence how we respond to them. Accepting all of life's experiences, no matter how challenging or painful, is a central tenet of Stoicism. Love of fate, also known as acceptance of fate, is referred to as amor fati. This is the belief that we should accept and make use of every circumstance that unfolds to us, whether positive or negative. Our destiny is the road to our maturation and improvement. Thus, we must not only recognize but actively embrace it. Picture yourself as an artist who has been preparing for months to provide a memorable performance. You get to the concert hall on the day of the performance, only to learn that your instrument was smashed in transit and will not be playable. You may either wallow in self-pity and anger, or embrace whatever fate has dealt you with thankfulness and grit, the amor fati approach. If you go for the second option, you'll realize that you can't do anything to change the current state of affairs, and that becoming angry or laying blame will lead to nothing. Rather than dwelling on the negatives, consider the scenario a chance to develop as an artist and take advantage of the circumstances. For example, you may switch instruments or create clever improvisation music throughout the show. You can seemingly turn unfavorable circumstances into good ones by accepting your fate and viewing it as a potential for progress. The feelings of wrath, bitterness, and irritation can be mitigated and replaced with a more peaceful and accepting outlook on life if we practice amor fati. As a result, we are more equipped to deal with personal and external adversity and pursue a life rich in meaning and purpose. Fifth technique: don't care about what other people think. The foundation of this technique is drawn from the quote by Seneca says, "The Stoic sage pays no attention to what others consider shameful or miserable. He does not walk with the crowd." According to Seneca, we may get enslaved by the views and demands of those surrounding us if we constantly seek their acceptance. Rather than being founded on objective fact, he claimed, people's opinions are typically colored by their preconceptions, assumptions, and biases. Thus, worry and tension can result from placing too much significance on accepting other people and depending too heavily on other people's validation. He also claimed that worrying too much about other people's thoughts might divert us from pursuing our dreams. Therefore, Seneca urged his readers to disregard the opinion of others and instead act under their ideals and principles if they wanted to be successful in life. Take the hypothetical situation of someone who has always wanted to be a writer. Sadly, your loved ones are urging you to consider a more conventional and secure professional route, such as medicine or law. You might develop self-doubt and lack confidence as a writer if you continuously seek their approvals and comments. If you can tune out their criticism and instead prioritize your values and beliefs, you can stay true to yourself and continue pursuing your writing passion. Rather than attempting to please other people, you'll be happier and more successful if you pursue your goals and desires. In the long run, this can help you feel more at ease with yourself and the world around you. As a result, we may tune in to our inner direction and follow the pathways consistent with our beliefs and goals, without being persuaded by the views of others. As a result of lessening the effect of outside demands and expectations, we can better maintain our composure and feel more in control of our life. Yet, Seneca did not advise shutting oneself off from the world or ignoring the views of others. On the contrary, he understood the need to listen to the advice of those more experienced than ourselves. Critiquing and valuable feedback might be crucial in guiding our development. Sixth technique: examine your day. All our senses should be trained to acquire strength. They are by nature capable of endurance, provided that the mind, which should be called daily to account for itself, does not persist in undermining them. That is the last quote from Seneca we are using for today. Seneca thought reviewing your day was an excellent way to calm down and improve yourself. Understanding the environment around us is essential, but introspection is the true path to enlightenment. To engage in self-reflection is to pause for a moment and consider one's thoughts, values, and behaviors. To practice self-awareness is to question our assumptions about how our ideas, emotions, and actions influence us. Unfortunately, it's simple to lose focus on what matters most in today's fast-paced, technologically driven society. Understanding our ideals and aspirations requires thoughtful introspection on our part. It is important to reflect on our experiences, learn from them, and grow in resilience and self-awareness to enhance mental and emotional health. However, our mental health might suffer when we push away uncomfortable feelings and ideas. If these sentiments are ignored, they might develop into anxiety, sadness, and solitude. Therefore, it is essential to recognize and work with these feelings to have a more well-rounded outlook on life. By introspection, we may determine what triggers negative emotions and learn to manage them constructively. Every night before bed, choose a peaceful spot where you won't be disturbed and devote some time to introspection. Locations like these may include a spare bedroom, a garden seat, or even a parked automobile. Relax by taking several deep breaths. Then, focus on the here and now and block out outside noise. Another option is to maintain a diary in which you may evaluate your everyday activities. Seneca felt that by reviewing one's day at the close of it, one might acquire insight into one's habits and behaviors and seek to improve them. In Seneca's view, self-improvement is an ongoing process that requires constant vigilance. It's also a chance to congratulate ourselves on any progress, no matter how slight. Keeping our inner peace and satisfaction may be fostered by cultivating a feeling of appreciation and optimism, both of which can be facilitated through recognizing our successes and focusing on the positive elements of our day. Ultimately, we may achieve greater pleasure and contentment by reflecting on our lives and learning more about ourselves to better connect our behaviors and ideas with our beliefs and aspirations. If you liked this video, watch the others on our channel. And if you want to learn how to achieve success and happiness using timeless philosophical teachings, subscribe to our channel, for we share daily pills of motivation, inspiration, and positivity. We appreciate you watching.